Job's already learned that his wife and his friends were no substitute for God. People he thought would be with him come hell or high water, stick with him come hell or high water, be with him in the trenches. Well, man, as soon as it started getting hot in the kitchen, they bailed. So Job knows what it feels like to be rejected, to be left in his time of need. So does Jesus. He knows when Hebrews says that we have a great high priest who can sympathize with us in all of our weaknesses and pain, and we go, okay, really? Seriously? I mean, Jesus wasn't married. He didn't have toddlers that he had to deal with. He didn't have crying babies in the middle of the night. He didn't have to deal with a lot of the stuff we have to deal with. He didn't have to deal with bad traffic on Indian Town Road because of construction that they're doing in the wintertime instead of doing it in the summertime when nobody's here. He didn't have to deal with a whole lot of things. And so we go, what in the world? How can he be so audacious as to say that he can understand us? Well, he knows what it feels like to be rejected. He knows what it feels like to be abandoned. He knows what it feels like to die. He knows. Jesus knows. Job knew. Job knew what it felt like to be abandoned by people in time of need, to lose. He knew. And at the end of the day, he's going, where else am I going to go? At least he's taking his complaints to God. At least he's expressing his frustration to God. He's taking his grief to God. He's taking his anger to God. And so I don't know what's happening in your life. I don't know why it's happening. I just know that God is ultimately your only hope. He's ultimately my only hope. It doesn't mean that we will like what he does or doesn't do. It doesn't mean we'll understand what he does or doesn't do. Because his ways are higher than our ways, and his thoughts are higher than our thoughts, and he's infinite and we're finite, and he's big and we're small, and he's perfect and we're imperfect, and he's holy and we're sinful, and all that stuff. He's the creator and we're the creatures. There's just so much about who God is and what God does that we cannot and will not ever know. It's like looking at the ocean from the beach. But I do know this, that he's ultimately our only hope. There is no other stream. I know it may not seem like it right now, but he is your strength. He is your rock. He is your deliverer. It may seem like he's left you, but he hasn't. He's with you in the whirlwind. He's with you. He comes to you. He hasn't left you. He loves you. And he promises that no matter what, no matter how hard you shake your fists in frustration at what he's doing, no matter how much of a temper tantrum you throw or how much sadness you express or confusion or grief, he's got you. He's got you. And in those moments when it doesn't feel like he's got you, I find myself saying, God, it certainly doesn't feel like you care, and it doesn't really feel right now like you're with me. Help me to believe that you are, because right now I'm feeling abandoned by the best friend I've ever had. Help me to know that you're here. Just an honest prayer like that. That's it. I believe and I don't believe. I trust and I don't trust. I rebel and I rejoice, all at the same time, all the time. And just coming to God and saying, God, this is the mess that I am. I want to believe that you're good. I want to believe that you love me. I want to believe that you're there for me, that you haven't left me, but I'm finding it really difficult to believe that right now. Help me to believe it. Help me to believe it. And then just be still. God knows how to make himself known to you. He knows. He's tailored you. He's hardwired you. He knows how to uniquely reach you. Your personality, your likes, your dislikes, your unique frustrations, your idiosyncrasies. He knows specifically. You are fearfully and wonderfully made by God, and he knows how to specifically remind you that he's with you.